Hi, this is Derek, and today's video we're going to be talking about something that might sound kind of strange, but the theme of it is looking from hills versus vision from mountains. Okay, and I've got my little yellow legal pad which I like to use because I'm going to be showing you a graphic illustration about a point that I want to drive home to you. But before I get into that, let me kind of set the groundwork for what we're going to be talking about. If you look at the most successful companies in the world, one of the top ones, and it's even growing more and more and more every day, is Apple. And when you look at Apple, most people will tell you that the driving force behind Apple's success is its CEO, Steve Jobs. And when you think about Steve Jobs, you have to kind of wonder, what is the mindset? What enables a person like Steve Jobs to have a company that is making profits galore, and he's able to run this multinational company, put up Apple stores all around the world, create products that people love, and all these other things? How is a guy able to do that while most people, maybe you, and it used to be me, have even trouble putting together an ebook, you know? I mean, it seems kind of crazy that this guy has the ability to run a company like Apple with all the pieces fitting together and being able to create success from that, while most people can't even put together a 10-page ebook perhaps, or put together a blog, or whatever it may be, or just anything. What's the difference there? And as I got to thinking about this, there's probably a lot of different things, but here's one of the things that stood out in my mind, and that is his vision. Okay, Steve Jobs has an incredible, intense, focused vision, which enables him to see so far ahead of the competition as to trends and things that are happening, and where he wants to go with his company, and what's going to happen several years down the road, and what people want. He has an incredible vision that allows him to see so far ahead. And what makes that possible, right? I mean, if you can figure out the key behind his vision, you might be able to tap into some of that yourself, right? And so that's kind of what I want to share with you today. And I'm going to make this brief, but I think the whole process, this whole idea of vision, is really, interestingly enough, both in the physical world and in the metaphysical world, if you will, it all stems from focus. The better your focus, the greater your vision. Right? That makes sense. That's how your eyes work, and that's how it works when it comes to being able to accomplish things in life and being able to see how things are going to turn out down the road. So focus is incredibly important. And I want to give you a visual to explain this a little bit, to see how this might work in relation to what we're talking about here. So hopefully you can see this. I've got the camera turned the right way. But let's say, for example, that you're a person that has a hard time maintaining your focus. Alright? So let's consider that as climbing some hills. Okay? So you might be on this ground, and you might start working on something, and you might start climbing this hill, and then you get distracted and you go back down, and then you think, okay, I'm done with that. Let me start climbing again. Let me pick up this project where I was, and you start climbing another hill, and you only get so far before you're distracted and you go back downhill. And you're doing this all the time, and so all the further you get is this far, okay? You don't get very high elevation, if you will. But if you're able to maintain focus, like somebody like Steve Jobs is, what happens? He gets started on something, whether it's on a daily basis or a huge project, such as the iPhone that took years to put together and develop. But he's somebody that can maintain focus, and what happens with him is that he gets to climbing, and because he's able to maintain focus, he climbs, until he reaches the summit, and he puts his little flag at the top, and he's accomplished his goal. He's climbed Mount Everest, if you will. Now think about this. What kind of vision are you going to have from this vantage point where you can maintain focus and reach these mountains, climb these mountains as opposed to down here. Do you think that there's going to be a difference in the quality of your focus and your vision from here? So when somebody like Steve Jobs, who can maintain his focus, can stand up here constantly, you know, he's moving from mountain to mountain to mountain to mountain because he's able to maintain his focus on a daily basis on his projects and long term. He's able to see out ahead of him, be either behind him, in front of him, wherever it may be. His vision is incredible. He can see where trends are going, he can see where pitfalls might be down the road, whereas if you're a person like this and your elevation is right here and that's all the further of your vision, you're not going to get the same kind of perspective as he is at all. And so what I'm encouraging you to do is really appreciate the importance of focus, because focus is going to make a difference in your vision, and whether or not you're looking for hills versus your vision for mountains. So if you want to have something, and now you may not ever acquire the skill level that somebody like Steve Jobs does, but even if you end up right here, every step that you take that's further up the mountain, the better your vision is going to get. Okay? So I'm encouraging you to focus on becoming more focused, because it's going to make a huge difference in the results that you get. Alright, so that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Did you like this video? Would you like 20 more just like it that explain to you how to take more action and finally get things done, all for free? Well, then visit www.theactionmachine.com. Once again, that's www.theactionmachine.com.